oil light came on while we were slowing down traffic.
Gosh, no, low oil is not bad, but low gas is worse.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're live with the Rideshare advocacy.
No one's watching it.
No, okay.
So then we just wait a little while, right?
It feels so good in here, but I'm gonna take my jacket off.
Probably too hot, right?
It feels
too warm to
man.
too
So
hot.
You guys adjust it to your liking. I don't care.
No, I'm just I have the heat on because I did not bring a jacket out today.
You're flexing. The gun.
No, I'm not.
On purpose.
Oh, so all right. Once this gets to like 30, we can get cracking.
All right.
Okay.
It's been good for a while.
I don't know how the last stream got to that many viewers
We had
consistently.
130 viewers for like an hour.
But just facing the lot.
just-
How long have we been here already? I don't even know.
I've been here since 5 something.
We thought you guys were starting at 5.
No,
but
yeah.
You guys did so. So let's talk about what you did today.
We did a trappic slowdown.
What does that mean?
We made a lot of people really angry, and unfortunately, that was.
Is that what we do every day at O'Hare?
You're correct. Yeah, a lot of us. The purpose of the slowdown on the traffic was to force people's hand in having to converse about this. And when the time that we chose to do it was when there's a lot of business travelers that come here specifically to the city.
Thursday night, or they're coming home.
Correct. They've been visiting
Yeah.
the whole week for business, and they're on their way home. So we knew that there'd be a ton of those drivers and passengers heading to the airport at that time. And then we knew that, obviously, as you guys are aware, around 7:30 to 9:30, O'Hare gets crazy with all the arrivals. So
Yeah.
we knew that it would be perfect timing for us to try to accomplish this. On the highway today, we had about 45 to 50 cars that joined us. It was some cab drivers, a bunch of livery drivers, and a bunch of rideshare drivers.
All right.
We're trying to unify in our message and the purpose here. And we all drove side by side on 190.
And just went slow?
On the approach. We went about 1 mile to 2 miles an hour.
Jesus.
And people were flipping the F out.
Uh-huh.
I smiled because it was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
it's hilarious,
But
actually.
it was impressive because we're sitting on there and we're looking in front of us, and you can see half a mile, and there's not a single car in front of us.
And you know what? But and you know what? To get the word out to people that maybe not live here in Chicago, but they're commuting through O'Hare is important, because these to tell you the truth, when Uber is busiest freaking weeks of the year are when we have people from outside.
Correct.
In Chicago.
Yep.
Right? Those are the weeks that we make $2,000. Those are the weeks that we make $2,700. So that's how it goes.
Cero miedo, my friends. No fear. We're standing up for something, just like New York City and LA, my friends.
Right.
That's what it's going to take here. We all experienced all the BS.
So along with this agenda, which we went through before you got in the car.
You get the light one there. I'll definitely get you one with more detail.
But you know what? This is all agreeable.
This is all agreeable. This is agreeable.
Who cares about the taxi
And not
cabs,
like
though,
this
bro?
isn't.
No, it's not about that.
This isn't.
Not
But
just
like,
that in there.
this isn't like begrudging. But like, okay, I guess I can kind of swing on this one. Like, this is. I don't want to get in the way with me. This
So
could
first
appeal
one-
to like every driver in Chicago.
It should. I agree with you.
It should appeal to every driver. And you know what? It's very difficult. As you see, we can't get any drivers to organize or turn off their apps.
No one's stopping.
It's not an easy task, believe me.
No.
Firsthand,
And you've
I
taken
know
on.
it's not easy.
You've taken on a big.
Yeah, people think
issue.
we're crazy. We're taking
Right.
on a couple of billion-dollar companies, and we're all a bunch of broke jokers, So
Right.
it's definitely an uphill battle, and I stated it out there. And it might sound so freaking corny, but this is a motto I've always lived my life by, and it's that I can accept failure, but I cannot accept not trying.
Right.
I can go ahead and try out for the baseball team. If I don't make it, so be it. At least I tried my butt off, and I tried to make it. And this is no different. It's the same exact thing. And I've taken that approach with everything in my life. Socially, just to approach people, to talk to them or whatever it is. And in business, et cetera, I've always taken that approach. Or if I plant a seed and I tried. And if I failed, I failed, whatever it is.
Right.
Hey, I'm live right now doing a little bit of an interview.
It's okay.
CNN.
CNN.
CNN, Fox News. Yeah, right.
Well, someone here.
Fox News.
Someone commented about TLC. Like, I think that's the main thing. New York has the advantage because they have a commission that we don't have.
Correct.
So even if we want these improvements, I think we're years away from getting them because we don't have that kind of enforcement agency to combat the apps.
Correct.
Or a committee.
Yeah.
An automatic committee would be.
You are correct. One of our strategies over the last few months has been to meet with the candidates and the incumbents and present our agenda to them. And we did that with Lori Lightfoot and all the mayoral candidates as well. In fact, we met with her team 3 times in person, and we've met with her in person several times. We presented the agenda to her. We've presented the agenda to all these aldermen. Overwhelming support is the only way I can define it. So when you start talking to some of these people after they become educated on our end, they sound just like me and Eli talking about Uber's greed. They completely understand it now. They've seen it firsthand. We've presented evidence to them that completely contradicts Uber's talking points that they are going to be pushing out to the media to not have regulation pass into the city. So
I think that's what Uber and Lyft have done successfully is they stayed ahead of the regulation.
we are very well aware they're trying to go to the
It's
state
not a
level
secret.
now.
It's not a secret, but like
Some of the actions that they've taken, we know that they're trying to go to the state level because they realize that they are losing control of the city of Chicago. But if on the state level that they can gain some sort of control, then they can still maintain control in Chicago.
Well, because
as
I mean,
best as possible.
because a lot of our, for instance, I don't just stay in Chicago. I'm in, out, in, out, in, out. I mean, the burbs are a hot spot
Yep.
for us.
I live in the burbs and I drive all over the place in the
Right.
city, in the burbs,
Wherever
I love
it
the
is,
bar
right?
closings in the burbs for me personally have been
They're good. It's a
low,
good. It's,
like low hanging fruit for me to just
right.
pull off. I mean, this is awesome.
It's
I love driving the city.
I see. He's the city guy.
I love it.
I do both, and being that because all the regulation that's come so far is just from like why aren't these other municipalities making a little bit of money? They're talking about Lori Lightfoot's talking about putting an extra tax on top of what, and in order to take and get rid of our city stickers in the city.
Yeah, the argument with the city stickers, I understand. Supposedly, it's costing them more money to enforce and everything
Right.
than they are bringing in. So her proposal, because they need to replenish that stream of income, is to add a tax to rideshare. Me personally, I'm not a fan of that. That's not going to solve the issues
It's
that we're
not.
facing as drivers. It might help them in generating some income to put towards the public transportation system. But again, all of us, the largest workforce in the city of Chicago, remain unregulated and dealing with the lot and all the BS that we deal with and everything that everybody knows. So,
On a daily.
wanna go
I
home
think that's
after
the biggest
work?
issue too. Is like Uber and Lyft, they don't listen. They don't have drivers. Like they don't think they think in like a business, but it's like we know this shit so much better than they do. We're out here.
We do actually, to tell you the
Alright.
truth.
Yeah, and then just so you guys know, some people have asked us if we were to not go this route, to approach Uber themselves and some of this
They don't listen.
information. No, that's falling on deaf ears. We have
Well,
gone to them in
the
past.
people in the office there, we know how the damn app works better than the people that were calling on support.
They clearly
better-
have never taken a ride.
They have
They've
clearly
even seen
never,
a rider,
never
a driver app.
never had a rider passenger experience, and those kind of things. Those are it hurts. It hurts our bottom line at the end of the day when we can't get support for what we're actually doing. Like what's my point here?
Well, we feel positive that we have planted enough seeds in the alderman and in the mayor and
Okay.
gotten some promises to form some sort of committee, to sponsor bills, and promises to have us go in front of
No, we're good. We're good.
all the aldermen and the mayor presenting our agenda and demanding that they immediately put a moratorium
So-
on the number of cars, of drivers, and
So that would be
cars and drivers.
similar to what's going on with the TLC in New York.
Correct. And we are going to ask for them to do an immediate study on driver earnings and to increase them and be on par with New York City. I understand that cost of living is an argument that I get a lot. They're like, oh, it costs way more to live
Right,
in New
it
York. And
does.
I'm like, well, it costs less to live in Wisconsin and Indiana, but they get paid better rates than we do.
And what
here.
about-
So throw that argument
Yeah,
out
but they
the
don't
door,
make
dude.
it. But they don't also don't. They don't
They
make
don't
as
have
much
the
as we do.
rides.
Yeah, they got
I have-
higher rates, but they don't make money like we do.
I know anything like this is anecdotal because I have friends
Right.
that drive and I'm in the groups there, and some of those drivers make way more money than UberX drivers in Chicago. They might be
Really?
putting on a few more miles or doing way less rides. The rate difference definitely is noticeable in my opinion from what I've seen.
Okay.
But again, that's anecdotal because
Yeah,
I
it
get interviewed
doesn't
and they're
matter,
like,
subjective.
how much you make? I'm like, that's not fair. I am a gross savage that tries to knock out the biggest unicorn. The complete opposite strategy as you, I know, but that's
right. You're looking for that long ride.
I never got those. I think the problem with me is I never got those rides in the first place. So
it might have been just some of your strategy.
For
Because I remember seeing one of your videos where you at that time you had around 10,000 rides, and you're like, I think I've given like less than 5 rides that were $100. I fainted because I've given at that time it was like 3,500 rides, and I'm not exaggerating, bro. I've got over $100 rides. I have $200, $300 rides.
I don't even think I've cracked double digits in $100 rides.
I have $300 rides.
I have $200 rides.
I have monsters left and right. On weekends where like on 3 rides I'm cracking over $1,000.
Well, but you were also driving in like 2014.
But you're also
started in 15, and you're also on the luxury platforms. Correct.
Select platform.
Yeah.
Also with the multiplier after like Lollapalooza, it was the odds were high you were going to get a nice ride like that.
Yeah, and I never gave a damn about my acceptance rating or cancellation rate.
Right. I didn't until recently.
Yeah, I was more. Yeah, you can ask a bunch of my friends that are out here. Eli, we've had a lot of jokes. My acceptance rating was constantly on the single digits, and my cancellation rating.
Say hi, Sean.
Always in the 30 to 40%. So I know that Uber would be like, this guy just does not do any rides, and then he's canceling half the ones that he does accept. So
yeah.
It's all about business, man. It's all about
and this is how you wanted to run. This is how you want to run your business.
Works for you.
Exactly.
That's what works for you. Yeah. And that's okay. As long as
Absolutely.
you know what,
there's people in our group they wake up at 4 a.m. every single day, and they do a couple of ORD runs, and then they're doing all the runs for people to work
and that's
to the loop, and then they play the opposite during the evening rush, and then they go play the events in the evenings, and they're doing the 2K club weekly as well too, by playing that strategy. So every strategy varies for everybody.
That's Matsi Hatsuzama.
With me personally, my personal situation does not allow me to work during the day, to drive during the daytime. I have other responsibilities, so that's why I don't play that game of being, accepting everything and chasing everything. So 3%.
He probably leaves his app on.
I'm very proud. Yeah, no. When I was like before the estimate trip duration, I was down to like 30%. I was like, hell yeah,
you cherry pick what you want. Just like,
yeah.
This is a business.
But you know what? They don't. Obviously, that's not good for the apps. Is the cherry picking is what the apps have.
They're trying to break that.
Break that pain. Yeah.
Yeah, they want you to have no strategy, actually.
Right, they do. They just want you to turn
on the app and accept the very first ride.
Right,
exactly.
Right, which is very
If you don't accept the ride, you're going to lose your consecutive trip.
Yeah.
If you don't accept, you're going to lose trip duration. So
which is manipulating drivers in a way that we should be employees.
So, my friends, that's one of my main motivating factors. And people think that I might be delusional when I say this, but this is truly something that's in me. It's the passion to make sure that other industries don't take after Uber, and they see that,
that's what's gonna happen.
Let's go ahead and redefine our workforce as independent contractors, because we can save 2-3% on the bottom line.
Yeah.
We pay everybody a couple bucks more, but we're taking away all their benefits, paid time off, etc.
What they're saving is Social Security, Medicare. Sick days, vacation.
But also, let's be a little cynical here. With this workforce that won't stop, they won't turn off their car for an hour. Would they stick to a schedule? Would they be able to stick to a schedule?
No.
Will they be able to? Will they be able to log their? Will they keep paperwork
in the car?
Will they?
Yeah. So you guys already know. Most of these drivers, they don't even know what their expenses is. They don't even know what their cost per mile to operate is, etc.
But that's where I've kind of changed, and like everyone's been helping me with this. I've kind of changed the focus of my channel. It's like you got to do it smarter. You got to be more efficient. You have to manage your money better.
It's good.
But like, but just people don't listen.
You guys got more people.
There's a stubbornness in the driving community that is.
I can tell you about all the challenges in trying to overcome. One of them is the ethnic communities. They're still so in their mentality that like I can't join with this group from this country because our countries were at war 100 years ago, and it's like, well, it's 2019, and we have a lesbian mayor.
And they brotherhood.
Well, let's get over the nonsense
we got a
here.
lesbian mayor.
But for real though, I mean, we're looking at all these cars going through this spot right here, and they're still not turning it off because
they're not even looking at these guys.
They have look. This guy has a wife and 3 kids at home that he's got to feed. But he doesn't realize that if he turns this shit off for an hour, he might be better for the next 4 years.
Oh yeah, people don't see the value in it, but there's definitely some that do. Because when we started out here, there was like 10 people, and I'm not going to.
This is a little bit more,
but we're like probably like around 35, 40 people.
You're good. You're doing good. There's a bunch of people here, and it has grown, I will say.
We have the entire livery lot. I know we can't see it right now, but there's a group of livery drivers that forms just like the Chicago Rideshare Advocates. They're called Black Card Drivers United, I believe is the name of the group. They're about 2 weeks old, and in the last couple of days, they started a list asking drivers to opt in, to put their name down, to commit, to turn off the app during this time, and they're at the livery lot right now. There was over 150 of them that put their name on the list, and the Dean Carr and some of our members are over there right now, and the leaders of that group right now, taking pictures and footage as well, and they're all offline right now.
Okay.
Literally, the livery lot is so committed to this. It is beautiful.
Well, they have a lot more to lose. They have a lot more expense.
Yeah. Cab Drivers United is also one of the groups that has joined us, because in the end of the day, we're all transporting people from point A to B in a car with commercial insurance for a fare. And we're all affected by this. So Uber's free reign has trickled down to the livery industry and the cab industry. And at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters in transporting people. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, but we do it better.
I beg to differ, because I know you guys have seen tons of Uber drivers driving the wrong way in the River North dropping off on Michigan Avenue.
I've seen cab drivers do the same shit.
Far less common with cab drivers, believe me, my friend.
I've seen cab drivers do the same shit. I'll tell you, I do it better than a cab driver does. And our apps do it better than cab drivers do.
And I don't think there's any argument.
And we can do it while juggling phones. We can just,
juggling phones and spraying air freshener.
We take multitasking to a whole other level.
No, we definitely
Especially
wear lots
driving,
of hats.
yeah.
We'll be a bouncer.
Bouncer, yeah.
We're therapists, we're
big time.
drug dealers, drug runners.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, like, I mean, what I said about the Luries, people when I met them, like, I think the problem is majority of people don't really. A lot of people.
Did you see that?
No.
Model
the
S.
Tesla? Oh. I think the problem is a lot of people they want the money and they just don't see the big picture and they don't care. When you care, that's when you really will get involved.
More are going to join us. More are continuing to join us and gather. They're getting out of their cars and whatnot. So let me explain to you one of the biggest challenges. You guys may have seen in one of the videos. If you guys have seen online on our electronic petition, I think we're around 700 signatures.
Okay.
But on paper, I have over 4,000 signatures.
Okay.
The challenge is people are scared. They're like, oh no, if I sign the electronic one, Uber is not going to want to, they might want to deactivate me or whatever. So
did she take a ping?
She took a ping.
You traitor!
You traitor!
But she's thumbs up.
You turncoat!
Turncoat!
So the challenge that I found is I'm speaking 10, 15, 20 minutes with one individual, getting them up to speed on who we are, what we've been doing, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where a lot of our time gets consumed. And if you do the math, we've got thousands of signatures and we're investing anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes for one signature. We've invested hundreds of hours.
Who's supporting you monetarily?
We're self-funded. We're self-funded.
Okay.
We have received donations from organizations around the city, including, as everybody I'm sure is aware, Legal Rideshare has been a phenomenal supporter.
Legal Rideshare, yeah, and he's on the news and whatnot too.
And they hang out here pretty regularly.
They're actually underway right now. Okay. So Bryant and Jared from Legal Rideshare should be joining us momentarily. We have ASME. They're one of the unions here.
Okay.
They're the ones that back Cab Drivers United. They just helped us with setting the roots, planting the seeds, and doing everything that we needed to do as an organization to help legitimatize us some and help us with our path. We've also had other groups. We have one that I don't want to mention it right now just because it's sensitive. It's really fresh and it's really sensitive. That. But they offered us a grant worth more than my Cadillac. So I'm really looking forward to see what we can do with that money to help
our cause.
Help this cause just move forward.
Okay, friends. Yeah, I'm with it, and that's what I was saying is as long as you know what, and have you taken any money from drivers?
Yes, yeah. Drivers have been overwhelmingly supportive of us.
Do you have somewhere like a Venmo or something?
Yes, we do.
That we can go to.
Yes, we do.
Pitch it.
Yes, on I'm trying to find my phone here. It's CRA 1819, and that is through the Cash app.
Okay.
CRA, obviously Chicago.
Are you a 50C3?
Great question. Okay, so
are you working on that?
Our non-for-profits, we have all our bylaws written
Okay.
We have everything 100% ready. Only thing, you're the bomb. Thank you for the taco.
You were hungry, so I didn't know if you needed anything.
Those are the tacos I'm talking about. Those are the good ones.
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Those are the good ones.
So as far as the non-for-profit status, we have everything 100% in line. All we got to do is deposit it and file it. The reason we did it is because some of the political action that we've taken and that we're going to take would be crossing the line as a non-for-profit entity. There's a certain percentage of advocacy and political work that we're allowed to do before crossing that line.
Okay.
So just to make sure that we weren't violating that, we decided to hold back on that. Anything
Also taking in the money, right?
as far as taking in money, we're still allowed to take in money,
Okay.
and it still can be used as a tax write-off. So once we do complete that process, people will be given the information so that then when they go
From
through when they do their yearly filings, they'll be able to submit that as a donation.
Very good. Very good. And what's next? Today is this. What's tomorrow?
Great. We're super excited for what's coming up next, all right? Because this
Sleeping.
today,
Sleeping.
yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm down for naps all day. So we've been working really hard. Today's purpose was for the slowdown, and for this is to bring more attention to the drivers.
Of course.
Awareness to us to gather support for the next action. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a date set in stone before our action today, but I personally have been in communication with the leaders of Rideshare Drivers United in Los Angeles.
Oh shit, Farouk. He's got gas for you. Hold on, we gotta see this.
What's up, Adam? How are you, buddy?
You finish up, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I forgot what I was saying because I'm getting messages repeating. Sorry.
All right. So your next steps is you said a date.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
LA.
So we've been working with Rideshare Drivers United, and there's a couple of other groups. There's a large group of drivers from Houston. Washington, D.C. has a new group that's forming. There's a group in Connecticut that has been protesting and demonstrating at the lots over there, and a very large group over in New York. We're working on a nationwide strike. We're going to ask for everybody to turn off the Uber app for 24 hours. We're going to rally at City Hall. We're going to rally here at O'Hare, and that day, we're going to send a unified message to Uber that we've had it. It's over. We're demanding seats. We're demanding attention to our issues.
Give out the date. Is it going to be on a Monday or Friday? Any other day of the week. Won't.
Thursday night. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see the date that we chose.
Here's
It's got to be the high
It's a
demand.
tentative date.
Right.
It's got to be.
I'll share it with you too. I don't
On
want you guys to
Monday
share it
morning,
online.
right.
Yeah. It's right there. On that date, it's tentatively.
I don't know
I'll
if
let you guys know.
I don't know if I could do that day.
I'll let you guys know.
Here's what we found out.
Oh, it's a personal day for you.
Ya está cayendo un poquito de agua, no sé si...
¿Quieres
ahora parado,
¿Quieres
pero-
taparlo? No, vamos a continuar, pero si quieres taparlo y desconectarlo, lo
He's
podemos
also
hacer, está bien, o lo
multilingual?
podemos meter
I
en
don't-
un auto
I don't
para que
agree
esté
with that
corrido.
day.
¿Quieres hacer?
Is it?
It's
Avisales, hey, my friends,
It's
is
got to be a Monday or Friday, man. I'm telling you.
Omar, diles nomás que lo mueven. Jason!
She needs water.
2 seconds.
Is something
Hey,
overheating?
he's concerned about the speaker getting wet. Can we try to move it inside one of the vehicles or underneath somebody's trunk, possibly?
The trunk.
Or a tarp or something over it?
That's his speaker.
That's the young man that came up here.
Yeah.
He's brought it to our
Nice.
our demonstration.
So
that's what's next on the horizon.
right. Okay.
Even
So
further
we
down-
know that strikes don't work.
I beg to differ. Historically, throughout the country, that is what it has worked.
I know, but getting people to turn off the app does not work. We're witnessing it right here.
No,
How can
It's never gonna work.
how can what is another? I'll help you think
Okay,
of other
tell me
things.
you-
That's why we did the traffic slowdown.
Okay,
It's
right.
you're
Yeah,
done.
something.
Whether you're
Okay.
committed to
Right.
participating,
You wanna know
whether you're
what?
aware of this or not,
Maybe
we're
gonna
on video
do it.
live right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That was the whole purpose of it, is doing that slowdown. It's
something
it's
different.
forcing people's hand. And we had drivers who were flipping out, passing by us on the shoulders.
Right.
But then they see the signs and they're like, "Oh hell yeah!" And then they pulled in front of us and were like
Right.
slowing down with us too. We're like, "Oh cool."
Right, right.
That's the whole purpose of this. And so we understand that trying to organize a strike, trying to organize slowdowns and turn off the apps.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of challenges with that. A lot of people are desperate. A lot of people don't even know who we are. That was
Or-
what I was
or
telling you about
understand
the
that it's an
process of
issue.
getting the signature.
There's
Exactly.
70,000 drivers in Chicago.
So many
man.
new
How do you-
drivers
how do you
because
get
they
the
don't
word out?
last. Exactly. It's a huge, massive challenge for us that we've been trying to tackle And we need more people to step up. We need more leaders. Each and every single one of you
here's
is
a couple
leader,
things
man.
I would suggest. Like, legislatively, with the new mayor, you have to explain to them economically how much rideshare is worth in Chicago and the greater Illinois area.
To them.
We
How much
definitely-
is it for
Everyone.
me?
We
It's worth
definitely
so
have
much.
been playing that
So, if the mayor's office had everyone's emails, they could send out a mass email saying, we need this going on here. We need this level of participation from each driver. It can't be total, but at least something.
The mayor's office
But
is
how do you get
never
those
going to
emails?
directly communicate with the driver community. The workforce
Right.
is going to have to organize itself. It's
And
going to have
that's
to
the
show.
challenge.
That's the
That's-
biggest
That
challenge.
is
man.
such a challenge.
Let me tell you guys, even myself, from the
Right.
very first meeting, I was like, I don't want to be the leader for this, man. I'm like, I
Right.
don't want to do this. And second meeting, everyone voted, Lenny's the leader. Third meeting, Lenny's leader. All right, man, I'll reluctantly do this because somebody needs to step up and do this, and I'll do it because I do believe in the cause. I do believe that changes need to happen. I do believe the system is broken and it cannot continue that way, especially when we're seeing other cities get changes. We're no different from those cities, man. We deserve similar treatment and similar results as well, too. So, change
Ultimately,
occurs usually with small numbers of people, and not to get corny and whatnot, but Boston Tea Party, all these other things were
Right.
small portions of the population
I mean, just
that
looking here,
gathered and revolted.
Utah. Really, do we need
He
to be
hates
putting?
drivers from outside the city.
We need to be putting
Outside the state.
we need to be putting in Utah.
One of the things that we put in our legislative agenda
I saw
is
it.
to ban out-of-state drivers.
I saw it, yeah.
If out-of-state drivers want to drive in the city of Chicago, then they're going to have to comply with the with all the what's that name?
That's a rideshare ginger.
He's a troll.
He's a troll. He's my buddy.
You can
but
find
he's
a couple
also
of
a
friends
troll.
on our Facebook groups, but it'll just be
He's-
like the 2 or 3 or 4 of you clowns
That is Red.
hating on us.
That is Red, the rideshare ginger.
It'll make me Hulk up and turn into Ric Flair and Geo's cousin.
Woo!
You want me? You want me?
This is a popular-
You want me,
this is a
baby?
popular one, though.
You
This
got
is
me.
a popular one. It's a popular one for sure, but I think that even more, you share this video out and get this word out. You're going to share it with your groups and get your word out this way. I don't foresee why.
I mean, if the drivers saw this list, they'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
legitimate drivers, legitimate
Not
drivers,
even part-timers would be like, yeah, this makes sense.
We're fighting for better pay. Who's opposed to making more money?
right? But not only
a
better
comment
pay,
now.
but
If you don't wanna make more money-
It's more than that. It's more than just. It's more
What's up, Freddie from
regulation.
LA?
It's more regulation. It's more. I feel like Uber says, boom, you're a rideshare driver.
No training. No
You
training.
have a good background. No training, no nothing. That's why Geo's videos. That's why rideshare app entrepreneur. That's why
You guys are actually helping people.
They're
earn,
help-
so
they're
they
helping
see
you
the
to grow.
value in yeah. Come on.
So they see the value in that. But you know what? To know that.
Oh,
know
shit, this
that-
guy actually stopped.
Look at this motherfucker.
Ah.
Turn your shit off, buddy.
No, he stopped the line.
There you go.
If you guys didn't, if you want to see any footage of the slowdown that we did earlier today, check us out on our Twitter page or on the Facebook page. It's up there.
Chicago Rideshare Advocates.
Yep, and the Twitter is Chicago
Who came up with the name?
One. I believe it was Eli.
Eli's a WGN guy, right? Where's he
Yeah,
at?
Eli was the one who had
The Enclave.
Lourdes come out here. Yeah, he's in an enclave with sorry, and the tags.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add to this?
I guarantee that changes are coming to the rideshare industry in Chicago. I guarantee it.
Whether good or bad.
With, yeah,
Whether good or
Exactly.
bad.
Destination filters gone.
that is the issue, my friends. If you guys want to see the changes be to our benefit, turn off the app, stand up with me when we promote the next demonstration, because that's the only way to send that message to the city and to Uber. It's the only way. It's the only way.
I don't mind it.
Everybody's killing themselves, still getting out of the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, this is normal.
Like
This is how it
every
goes.
Thursday, every Monday, every Sunday.
Every day,
So basically every day
9:30
now.
till
Block
10,
everyone.
11
Yeah,
o'clock
dude.
at night.
Yeah, the changes will take a long time. They're not going to be overnight.
Now, just out of curiosity, I suggested for the LA protest that they don't have any, like, you need excitement, so you need some, like, hot girls, you need
Bikinis.
some midgets.
The mud wrestler.
How much does
me,
midgets
I'm-
cost?
I'm
unicycle.
I'll donate the cost of one midget.
I'm an obscene person, but I know that obscenity gets attention. You know, like, and I do think, like, there's you got to be a little extravagant to get people to notice.
Yeah, I definitely try to go a little wild, but my fellow co-founders are adamant about trying to wrangle in my Hulkamania. So,
Dude, trust me, there's a reason people are drawn to the ones that make the most noise.
Yeah.
You know?
the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
It gets a grease, right?
Gets a grease.
And you know what? These guys are your guys are all getting rained on right now.
Yeah, it's been raining for a minute.
pretty good.
That was the whole thing that he came over. He's like,
Yeah.
we covered the speakers, so it doesn't get damaged, of course.
So, did he actually give you gas or no? Did he?
I don't know where he went.
Where did he go?
He might have been like an
Oh,
Indian
that's
giver.
so funny. That's why he brought you the gas, because your gas light's on. You got some loyal followers.
Like one or two.
That's sick.
Well, we've been streaming for fucking 2.5 hours already.
Yeah, we have. And this is going at a half hour right now.
I want to address one thing here.
Okay.
In New York City, some of the drivers are not too happy with the changes, but the vast majority of them are. But
So what is the changes in New York City?
I've gotten mixed reviews from
Mixed reviews,
if
right?
you go into the New York City driver groups, they're really frustrated, and some of them are still happy with the changes they've seen, but they're
Right.
frustrated because it's Uber is doing the same thing to them that they're doing over here. They
took away
gouging the
destination.
passengers. Yeah, destination filters are gone completely.
Right.
And
Yeah, but now like they don't.
and Juno are all in lawsuits in the city there trying to stop it.
Does that
and
surprise you?
Not, of course not. And we're expecting a lot of pushback. And if you guys know or not, our page was attacked and they put malicious viruses and all this crap, which actually started changing our page. And as soon as we went there, it was instantly redirecting us to these sites that were just crazy pop-ups and downloading all this malicious content.
Who the fuck did that?
I don't know.
Somebody
Yeah,
has
that's
the time
crazy.
and money to try to do that because you have to.
That's dirty.
So, we're not
here's your
surprised.
buddy.
Oh, we got Bryant Greening here from Legal Rideshare.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that guy.
Hey, Bryant. Thank you, my friend. Oh, Jared, how are you?
We got
This
lawyers.
is Gio. He's one of the biggest YouTube personalities.
Hey, how you guys? This is Gio.
How you doing, guys?
Jared,
How you doing?
Wait.
I'll join you.
You want it?
I don't know.
I think
How you
I saw
doing?
your video. Did you put out like a Rideshare Fairs video? Like 15
I put out many videos.
I think I saw.
He puts out a video each day.
Yeah.
he's a YouTube whore.
I'm a bit of a whore on YouTube.
And a couple others.
Those are two legal rideshare attorneys.
He's one of the attorneys. The other one is just
They found a niche.
an employee here that helps him out.
Right.
Yeah.
They found a niche, which is smart, right?
Yeah, and they've actually stood up for drivers here as well. They battled the city of Chicago and lifted the ban on advertising. So if somebody
Right.
wanted to advertise,
Oh, that was them?
that was them. That was them.
That was them.
Yeah.
I have a surf
I
tablet.
haven't done that yet.
So if
I
you
have
have
a
your own
surf
business,
tablet.
you're a realtor, whatever it is,
Right.
you can advertise on the tablet.
I
you
have-
can wrap
I
your
have-
car,
I have a surf
or
tablet.
somebody
Get
can
the
pay
wrap.
you to advertise for them. That's
You're gonna
all
get
thanks-
the rap?
Rideshare.
You're an idiot.
That's all thanks to those guys. So thank you, Bryant. If you see this later
Right,
on, thank you again,
right.
my friend.
And you almost caught him in sync here. This guy's still on. How is Lyft? Oh, he must be Lux.
He's Lux. He's got
If it's Lux Black, he might be here 6 more hours.
You know what? And that's how it goes, right? What else do we want to talk about? I don't know. I think
I'll give you a copy. I can email it to you, the legislative agenda, the complete detailed ones, if you'd like to share in your page. I would
I don't have a page.
on your YouTube group page thing, and I would
Websites confuse me.
would love if you guys
Technology.
signed the electronic petition as well. Sign
yes,
the
we will.
petition.
I will.
So in New York City, when they went with the TLC and everybody, they went with literally 10,000 signatures of drivers that were demanding the changes, and that's when they were like, "All right, shit, we definitely need to." Pay
That's when, and this,
And that's
and
what
this,
we're working on here.
yeah.
We're
and this
working on that,
and this committee is the committee was there for the taxi drivers really, but then it just started to oversee in New York.
A group formed over there a few years ago. It was called
Wow.
IDG, Independent Drivers Guild, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't like them, and it's a legit reason. They got funding from Uber, and they made an agreement that they won't be able to strike against Uber or anything. But they took
What dirty
That's
fucking
a
thought.
whole whole new level of horror.
Whoa!
There's a group of them here in Chicago, and they came to our meetings to try to see what we were up
We're
to.
like the old union
But
guys. What was that?
Yes, they are. And we told them, I'm like, hey, I already know about you guys. We already know about all the
Oh my
money, and
God.
why you guys were funded and whatnot, and we understand why you guys don't take the angle that you do, and
Holy
that's why
crap.
we take the angle that we do. Because it's about the greater good, and it's not about Uber's greater good. It's
Dude,
about
some
our
people just
greater
like to
good.
line their pockets. Man.
Exactly, man.
Honestly.
Well, they saw it as the opportunity to get some funding so that they can function, because people are like, how do you do this? Yeah, me and Eli are putting in 20, 30, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Phone calls all over the country, going to different meetings, meeting with attorneys, writing
Right.
shit. And people are like, where do you find time to live? It sucks, man. I'm sleeping 4 to 6 hours a day. I
Right.
have 3 kids. I'm working in the evenings. I have my other side businesses I try to maintain. And it's been tremendously
Yeah, that
overwhelming.
guy's gotta hustle.
So if somebody is
He's got,
offering
and you
me
know what?
money,
And you're out here hustling.
I understand why they
Just
took
as
the money.
just
in that
as what-
sense.
just-
I
but-
understand, because they're like, here's a ton of cash.
But just like us, you're out here driving.
yeah, I am
and,
driving.
you know-
and over the last 3 weeks, just so you guys know, I'll show you my app. I've done 1 ride on Uber per week. Is my personal protest.
Okay.
A fuck you to changing the destination filters. Let me
Right.
collect your little bit of extra money and buy myself some Taco Bell or whatever with it, and I'm going to protest. I'm going to do 1 ride a week on Uber until they change this destination
He
filter
said Taco
thing.
Bell. I have a taste for Taco
a
Bell.
cookout or something, like a big cookout.
We're going to have
for
definitely a fun
That would
party.
that would be
everything.
that would
That's
be
in
more
the works.
interesting to drivers. I
We-
think, like on a Tuesday afternoon at noon.
We were planning on doing that
You know?
just to try to build driver morale and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is definitely
but
in the
no,
works.
but not only that. That's a good way.
And
to
I'll
like,
volunteer. I will box anyone that wants to get in the fucking ring with me.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe we can have a box Geo, a box advocate day. You gotta donate some. money
drop
to do
Lenny
it,
in the
though.
water bin.
Good luck.
You know, like throw the ball and then Lenny falls into the
That
water.
would be fun.
Just like a
Fill it with beer and stuff.
yeah, right. You know what? That seems like a good way to end it, right?
Any questions for me, guys? Anybody on there?
Yeah,
I'm
they
an
have
open
questions.
book.
There's been
man.
so many
I'm
fucking
an open
things
book.
going
There's so many questions.
Hit me, yalla, let's go.
Let's go.
If a lot of people like to watch, but not a lot of people like to comment.
I'm familiar with that.
Schaefer Cox, don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
No, I do think there's got to be like it's obviously the problem is people expect change.
He's stealing. So he's
Just
saying,
like people want to be rich overnight, they expect change overnight.
Yeah.
And that's just not how this works.
Yep.
You know,
Thank
they
you.
get discouraged after one strike didn't work, and like, well, it's never going to work. You have
the
to
next
keep
protest
at it.
is sometime within the next month.
You have
Approximately 4 to 6 weeks from now, we'll announce on our Chicago Rideshare Advocate page and everything the date. And
Chicago Stock Exchange during the IPO. That's a dumb question.
because that's where the fuck
Mayonnaise is not an instrument. It's a topping for my
contact
burgers.
YouTubers to promote the strikes.
thank you. Not a bad idea. Here's one right now.
Probably not going to get a reply back from any of them.
We've actually gotten messages from a few of them asking us why we haven't reached out to them, and I'm like, I'm glad.
Because they want the ad
Of
revenue.
course, right. So I'm like, we are so busy with other venues right now and avenues, but not shutting anybody down.
Thanks, Southern California.
Do you guys want more of the legislative agenda copies?
Yep, take the rest of mine here. I'll be out in a few.
All right.
Any questions? How to crash the app? I wish I had that answer.
So you,
No,
it's,
Uber crashes it for
it's
us,
funny.
yeah.
It's funny. The guy said before. He said, he's stealing. I call that like you guys are stealing money from. It's like Uber's Robin Hood, and they're taking from the drivers that use their destination filter, and giving to the drivers that don't. Theoretically, the richer drivers that use a strategy, and
Yeah, we've
Given
heard it
to the-
described as rideshare socialism.
it's Roger.
I don't even agree
Are you
with that.
taking your money? I
I'm
would
just saying,
take
that's
that
what I've
money.
heard it described.
I'm a
as.
very charitable person. I'm like, look, if they fucking need the extra $14 a week, then they need it more than me.
Hey, can I pitch my other charity? Completely unrelated to rideshare. I have a
Gio's
charity
all about
that's
charity.
starting up. This
He
is a
wants
great
his.
one.
Gio wants his
I need-
statue.
I
at
need
Robert
helpers
H.
for this
Did I
one.
tell you that?
Here, let me tell you really quickly. I'm starting a group. It's tentatively called Secret Santa. The objective is for me to collect funds, take that money, and pay off layaway orders at retail stores around the holidays that are all for toys. So that means that those are families that are doing whatever it takes to be able to save up a couple of bucks and pay for their kids' presents around the holidays. I would like to be able to help those parents out by paying it off for them as a surprise at these retail stores. It's called Secret Santa. I already have a ton of people that are backing up behind it and are
you a smart one, money.
And that's 100% for charity, man. And it's a secret. I'll wear a mask. I'm not doing this for anything like that. It's just for me to try to help out people.
We were making fun of that person, or he was,
What's
not
up,
me.
guys? I was
I was making fun.
No, I can get behind that.
That's a pretty good one.
En video ahorita me están entrevistando. Okay. Bueno, hermano, muy chistes, muy chistes.
Why are you guys asking questions? This guy's asking driving questions right now.
Así es, man.
Yeah, we're at O'Hare right now.
Muchísimas gracias. Vamos a platicar más. Vamos a platicar más. Gracias, hermano. Cuídate.
And it looks like the lot's cleared out.
Not really, but a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't have that full traditional backup today. I don't know.
It's still
Well, no, if you didn't notice, because you weren't here, but they did have extra police at the lot today because they knew about you.
Yeah, they came to our rendezvous point that we had over at the Woods. They talked to us and they told us that they were going to have a section for us that they wanted us to stay. So that's why we came up against the west fence here. So immediately as soon as we got here, I jumped out of the car to talk to them, and they already knew my name and everything. And they're like, hey, they're like, all right. They told me where to go, and then I just stood there greeting everybody. And just while I was doing that, letting my friends know where we were staging, random trolls were doing the U-turn right in front of the cops, and the cops were like, what the fuck are you assholes doing? And they thought that I was sending them to do the U-turn, so they came up to me, and I'm like, no, I'm like, these are just clowns that don't want to wait in line like everybody else. They are the true bums, and they feel they're above everybody else. So
there's one person in this car that does that.
No,
man, I did not hear that.
He does not do something. Damn you, Lenny, you do that?
I've been tempted to on many occasions.
I've been tempted to do a lot.
When it's slow and there's a line, why stupid. Lines piss me off. Rideshare advocates.
Check us out on Facebook. If you guys haven't, please sign the petition. Like I said, in New York City, 10,000 signatures were brought over to City Hall, and they got the changes. It took them 18 months to get that. We're at about like 9-10 months of organizing now, and we're about halfway in there. Yeah, I'll email you everything. Give me your email address. I'll send you everything. I would love if you could share that, man. I appreciate that. And like I said, one last time, reform in this industry is definitely on its way. If all we want it to be is an additional tax on rideshare, that's what it's going to be if we don't stand up. I know we all want to get paid better. We want all the treatment. We want everything like it used to be. We want to be profitable. Only way to do that is to stand up. I am telling you guys, I don't care if we fail, laugh at me, do whatever it is. I'm going to be here in the rain. I'm going to be here in the sunshine. I'm going to be here in the snow. I'm going to be here a year from now, because even after reform happens, Uber is going to go to
oversight still has to happen.
They're going to appeal everything. They're going to go through the courts. I'm still going to battle this. And I don't care if I get deactivated, whatever the situation is. I don't care if regulation leaves me on the outside. If regulation leaves me on the outside, so be it. It's for the better good of this industry. And again, like I said, my motivation is to not have the Walmarts and everybody else in the world trying to redefine their workforce. Remember, guys, in Chicago, we are the largest workforce. Period. There's more rideshare drivers than there is police officers, than there is county employees, than there is city employees, than there are teachers. We are the largest workforce in the city, and this cannot continue to go unregulated or with. It just cannot continue. It cannot continue. You guys know what's on the horizon. Of going to be further pay cuts, more and more. 200,000 drivers, and we'll be making $100 a day, and Gio's going to turn into the 1,000 club.
I won't even be able to do that. I'll fucking retire. That's man. No.
So I'm ranting.
You know what? Yeah, and you are, and it's exciting stuff, because you know what? Something has.
We are
to
many,
change.
but we're just not. We're not organized.
It's on its way.
We're like 1 million strong around the country. We're just not organized.
But that's why we sit in these seats,
and that's why I'm sitting here too, to hope that your people that have been watching this and that are going to watch this are going to be like, hey, it was time for us to
that's why we put our asses in the seat. We put our asses in the seat. We did another job. We decided that we wanted to do it our own way. You know, and rideshare was a way for us to do it our
He
own
wants to know if
way.
you got the media backing you. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
media has been
you've had
all
the Hispanic
over
on
us.
news channels before.
We've been on all of them. If you haven't
Televisión,
noticed,
Yeah, you have.
Televisión, yeah, I've got all their phone numbers. We've talked to them this morning. Not that they're the biggest one, but just the Chicago Dispatcher and a couple other magazines and papers.
Right.
We're here taking video and pictures. Then we were interviewed by.
I see
NBC
the
and other
legal
people this
rideshare
morning.
guy is doing stuff too. He's
he
got
might
a
be
fancy.
talking.
Gio, why don't you have a fancy setup like that? Why is it just this tablet?
It's just a write-up.
Bro, man, this
I don't
guy,
have I
this
don't know
guy's
about
got a
technology.
camera. He's got
I
a
don't know
light.
anything about technology.
He's got a light. He's got look. He's all about it, man. Dude, use your wipers.
I barely know how to use a computer.
You need new wipers. Come on, let's get this game
This
together.
guy's a lawyer. He better be smart.
Oh, look, man, he's got fancy coat too.
Yeah.
Yeah, to pass the bar. So yeah,
I'm assuming he's smart.
I'm not passing that.
Pee bottle, right? No, neither am I. All right, guys, I think that's enough.
Thank you
45
for
minutes.
the time, Gio. Thank you very much,
No
Rick.
problem,
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it so much, man. And I hope you guys
It's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
feel the passion that I have in me. It's truly one thing. It's just to try to fix this
Yeah.
and make this better for everybody. And that's all it is.
We
That's
get
all
it.
it is, man. I hope you guys join us. Cero miedo.
I'm done. You
Are
done?
you? Yeah,
Are you done?
I'm done.
We can keep
You
going.
done?